Life's challenges can make us doubt even our strongest bonds. Yet it's important to remember that God places certain people in our lives for reasons we might not fully understand right now. His plans often stretch beyond our immediate sight, weaving a bigger picture that only becomes clear with time. Let's explore some signs that might indicate God wants you to keep that person in your life. If you're wrestling with the decision to part ways with someone, maybe it's time to pause and reflect. Together, we'll dive into the signs to help you discern whether it's time to persevere in love and trust, believing there's a greater purpose at work. So, let's dive right in. 1 clear sign that God doesn't want you to let someone go is when there's a deep spiritual connection between you. As you journey in your faith, you start to recognize who aligns with your values and who doesn't. Sometimes, people around us might not share our spiritual goals or understand our relationship with God. When you meet someone who does, someone who not only talks about faith but lives it out, you feel a sense of peace and safety with them. It's more than just calling themselves a believer. It's about embodying the virtues that faith teaches us. Think about the qualities described in Galatians 5:22-23. But the Spirit produces love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. When you see these traits shining in someone you care about, it might be God's way of saying, this person is meant to stay. God wouldn't place someone in your life who pulls you away from His path. Instead, He brings people who encourage righteousness and help you grow spiritually. Let's take a look at Paul and Silas. While in prison for preaching the gospel, they could have lost hope. Instead, they prayed and sang hymns together. Their unwavering faith led to a miraculous event where the prison doors flew open. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly, there was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken. At once, all the prison doors flew open, and everyone's chains came loose. Acts 16:25-26. Their partnership not only strengthened, but also inspired others around them. It's a testament to how a strong spiritual bond can lead to extraordinary outcomes. It's crucial to recognize that God doesn't place people in our lives by accident. Every encounter and relationship has a purpose. Sometimes that purpose is to teach us, to refine us, or to help us grow. Other times, we're meant to be a blessing to someone else. By staying connected, we allow God's love to flow through us and into others. Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity." True friendships and relationships are tested during difficult moments. If someone is there for you when the going gets tough, it might be a sign that they're meant to stay in your life. Of course, this doesn't mean holding on to relationships that are harmful or toxic. God wants us to be in connections that honor Him and promote our well-being. It's about discerning which relationships are a part of His plan and which might be pulling us away from His purpose. So how do you know if you should hold on? Look at the fruits of the relationship. Does it bring about love, joy, peace, and kindness? Do you feel encouraged in your walk with God? Do you inspire each other to live authentically and faithfully? Take time to pray and seek God's guidance. Sometimes the answer isn't immediate, but trusting in His timing is essential. Do not forget, God sees the bigger picture and knows how each relationship fits into His grand design for your life. In moments of uncertainty, hold on to this promise from Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Trust that as you wait on God, He will provide the strength and wisdom you need. Before making a decision to walk away, consider the spiritual connection you share. Reflect on the qualities that drew you to this person. Are they helping you grow closer to God? Do they uplift and encourage you to be your best self? If so, perhaps letting go isn't the path you're meant to take. Every relationship has its seasons, and sometimes perseverance leads to blessings we can't yet see. Stay open to God's guidance and trust that He'll lead you where you need to be. 2. The second sign God is saying don't let them go is when you have no biblical reason to let go. Sometimes our feelings can lead us down paths that aren't part of God's plan. God sees the bigger picture. While we might be focused on immediate comfort or satisfaction, He knows how each relationship fits into our lives for the long haul. If there's no biblical reason to end a relationship, no harm being done, no leading away from faith, then perhaps that feeling is a signal to pause and reflect, rather than to act hastily. Remember the story of Jonah? God instructed him to go to Nineveh, but Jonah didn't like that idea. He ran in the opposite direction, boarding a ship to Tarshish. His personal feelings didn't align with God's mission for him. It wasn't until he faced a storm and spent 3 days in the belly of a great fish that he realized that running from God's plan wasn't the answer. Similarly, letting go of someone without seeking God's will might lead us into unnecessary storms. Or consider Ruth and Naomi. After the deaths of their husbands, Naomi urged her daughters-in-law to return to their own families. Orpah left, but Ruth felt a deep conviction to stay. She told Naomi, "Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay." Ruth 1:16. Ruth didn't let go, even when it might have been easier. Her faithfulness not only blessed Naomi, but also led Ruth to becoming the great-grandmother of King David, placing her in the lineage of Jesus. It's easy to overlook how God might be working through our relationships, especially when they're challenging. That friend who tests your patience might be teaching you grace. That family member who leans on you might be strengthening your compassion. Without realizing it, you could be an essential part of God's plan for their life, and they for yours. We live in a fast-paced world that often encourages us to move on quickly, but God's timing isn't ours. Ecclesiastes 3:1 tells us, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." Before deciding to let someone go, ask yourself if this is God's timing or just a moment of personal discomfort. Imagine a gardener tending to a fruit tree. For seasons, the tree doesn't bear any fruit, and the gardener considers cutting it down. But then, in the next season, the tree blossoms and produces more fruit than ever before. If the gardener had given up too soon, he would have missed the harvest. In the same way, patience in our relationships can lead to unexpected blessings. If you're feeling uncertain, take your concerns to God. Pray for wisdom and clarity. James 1:5 encourages us, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." God isn't distant or uninterested. He cares deeply about every aspect of your life, including your relationships. Consider also seeking counsel from trusted, faith-filled friends or mentors. Sometimes an outside perspective can shed light on things we might miss. Proverbs 15:22 says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." It's important to differentiate between relationships that are harmful and those that are simply going through a rough patch. If someone is leading you away from God, engaging in abusive behavior, or causing you to stumble in your faith, There may be a biblical reason to create distance, but if the relationship is simply challenging or stagnant, that might be an opportunity for growth rather than departure. Think about Jesus and his disciples. They weren't always the easiest group to lead. They doubted, they feared, they even argued among themselves about who was the greatest. Yet Jesus didn't give up on them. He invested time, love, and teaching into their lives because he knew what they could become. His patience with them changed the world. By holding on, you might be part of something bigger than you imagine. Your perseverance could make a difference in someone's life that has eternal significance. Galatians 6:9 encourages us, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." In moments of doubt, reflect on God's faithfulness. Recall times when waiting led to blessings you hadn't anticipated. Trust that He is working behind the scenes, weaving together a story that is far more beautiful than anything we could craft on our own. 3. As followers of Christ, we sometimes underestimate how attuned we are to God's whispers. We think we need grand signs or prophetic words to discern His will. But in reality, He's already equipped us with spiritual instincts. Just as a shepherd knows his sheep, we recognize His gentle nudges in our heart. It's that persistent feeling that keeps bringing a certain person to mind, no matter how much we try to ignore it. Relationships, especially those rooted in faith, can be both exhilarating and daunting. You might find yourself hesitating, held back by fears of the unknown or past disappointments. Questions flood your mind. Am I ready for this? What if it doesn't work out? But consider this: God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. When He orchestrates a connection, He's already laid the groundwork for what it can become. Think about Moses standing before the Red Sea. The path ahead seemed impossible, yet God made a way where there was none. Similarly, when He brings someone into your life, He's already paved the way for that relationship to flourish, despite the obstacles you might see. You might wonder, how do I know if this is God's will? The Lord communicates in myriad ways, unique to each of us. For example, it's a peaceful assurance that settles in your soul. For others, it's through wise counsel from trusted friends, or a timely message that speaks directly to your situation. Remember when Elijah sought God's voice in the wind, the earthquake, and the fire, but found it in a gentle whisper? Sometimes it's that quiet conviction that tells you that this person is meant to stay. Looking at the story of Jonathan and David, their friendship was no accident. It was a divine appointment that would shape the future of a nation. Despite the challenges and external pressures, they recognized the significance of their bond. What if either of them had walked away out of fear or doubt? History might have unfolded quite differently. It's essential not to let fleeting emotions dictate decisions of lasting impact. Emotions can be like waves, rising and falling with the tides of our circumstances. But God's truth remains constant, like the solid ground beneath those waves. Trusting in His plan means anchoring yourself to that steadfast foundation, even when your feelings are wavering. If you feel God urging you to keep someone in your life, don't dismiss it lightly. Pray earnestly, seek His guidance, and be open to His leading. Surround yourself with fellow believers who can offer support and wisdom. Sometimes, God uses the community around us to affirm His plans. Letting go of someone God wants you to hold on to can lead to missed blessings, not just for you, but for others who might be impacted by your relationship. Think of Esther, who was positioned for such a time as this. Her courage to step into God's purpose didn't just save her, it saved an entire people. Your obedience in nurturing the relationships God has given you could have far-reaching effects you can't even imagine. Of course, this doesn't mean clinging to unhealthy relationships or ignoring red flags. God's intentions are never for us to endure harm or remain in situations that lead us away from Him. But when a relationship aligns with His Word, brings out the best in you, and draws you closer to Him, it's worth investing in. So, if you're sensing that God has a purpose for you and that special someone, take courage. Embrace the journey He set before you. Open up your heart to the possibilities and allow Him to work in and through your relationship. After all, God's plans are always for our good, to give us hope and a future.
There's more to every relationship than you could ever think. Haven't you ever wondered why some relationships feel destined, like something greater is at work behind the scenes? What if I told you that God is not only interested in your relationship, but also has an incredible plan for it? In this video, I will reveal the amazing reason why God is seriously involved in your love story, and how His divine hand is guiding you towards something far more beautiful than you can imagine. Many people are unaware that there is a divine purpose behind their relationship. They believe that their paths just crossed with their partners, and there is nothing more about their feelings for one another. They don't know that God is fully involved right from the beginning. It's true that you may not have had any plans of beginning a relationship with this amazing person, but as time passed, the love between you grew and led to a relationship. However, God was working behind the scenes to create a captivating love story through your lives. God deliberately and intentionally orchestrated every small step you both took along the way to make it this far. The common narrative is vastly different from what God intends for your relationship. The enemy wants you to believe a lie. He wants you to think that there's nothing special or divine about the two of you coming together. Society, and even people around you, may try to convince you that your relationship is just like any other, and that God has no part in it. They say relationships are purely based on feelings, convenience, or personal desires, downplaying the role of God's divine orchestration. But don't be deceived. The enemy's goal is to remove God from the equation, leaving you to navigate the complexities of love and life on your own. When someone tells you that God isn't involved, they want you to settle for less than His perfect will for your relationship. Yet, God is at the center, and your relationship is extraordinary. There's a divine purpose in your union that no one else can see or understand except the one who brought you two together. Beloved, nothing happens by chance. God is all-knowing. He knows that this relationship of yours was going to happen someday, somehow, and somewhere. This is why you must rest assured that God sent this special person into your life for a reason. Sometimes God uses your partner to shape your character and faith. Other times, He uses them to show us our own imperfections. There is one question in the mind of almost every young person I have interacted with on the subject of their relationship. How am I sure this person is the right person for me? While many young people are seeking answers to this crucial question, we often forget to redirect the question to the only one who can really answer it. There is an amazing reason why God is involved in your relationship with this precious partner of yours. "Haven't you read," he replied, "that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female, He said. For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate." Beloved, God's original plan for every relationship He is involved in is to ensure that the man and the woman become one flesh. You might not have known why the two of you were drawn to each other at first. Perhaps the first time your paths crossed, nothing was desirable about the person, but as time went on, you began to feel something special. I heard a story about a young woman named Grace. who was deeply in love with a man named Daniel. Their relationship seemed perfect and rosy on the outside, but Grace always felt something was missing right from when the relationship started. They faced challenges, misunderstandings, and moments of doubt that left her wondering if their love was strong enough to last. One night in her frustration, Grace prayed and poured out her heart to God. She said, "God, if this is the person you have for me, please show me a sign and guide me." However, what Grace didn't realize was that God had always been involved, even in the quiet moments when she thought he was silent. The very day after her prayer, she and Daniel began to have some deep conversations, the kind that brought their hearts closer together. They started praying together, and for the first time, Grace felt a peace she couldn't explain. Weeks passed and the relationship transformed in ways Grace never imagined. What once seemed like simple dates became her best cherished moments. Grace realized that the amazing reason God was involved in their relationship was because he wanted to shape them, both individually and together. God was molding their hearts, aligning their purpose, and preparing them for a future that would be far greater than either of them could create on their own. God isn't just watching from afar. Beloved, he is involved because he cares about the little things, the big moments, and the future that he's crafting for those who trust him. Just like Grace and Daniel, when you invite God into your relationship, you open the door to the kind of love and understanding that only he can bring. All you need is to trust that he's working behind the scenes because his plan for your relationship is far more amazing than you can imagine. Think about Adam's relationship with Eve. This was the first relationship in human history. They had no idea how significant their union would be. Despite their disobedience, they became one flesh and allowed God's plan to unfold through their lives. From this union, the entire human race was born. Every relationship is unique and remarkable in its own way. Just as God had a specific plan for Adam and Eve, he has a unique plan for every relationship he's involved in. No matter the challenges, when God is part of the equation, the relationship will ultimately become a masterpiece. When you look around and see so many young people consumed by doubts about their partners, wondering if they found the one, the real question should be, is God involved in this relationship? That's what truly matters. Again, consider a couple like Isaac and Rebekah. While Abraham sent his servant to find a wife for his son Isaac, God's hand was clearly evident in the process. How? Immediately the servant set out on this special assignment. He prayed to God and asked for guidance, asking God to show him the right woman by a specific sign. Rebekah appeared and fulfilled all the signs, confirming that God had chosen her for Isaac. While you may be thinking, this relationship has gone too far to get God involved, it's never too late to bring your relationship before the Lord and discover his will. Yeah, I know you love each other, but when it comes to a relationship that can withstand the storms of life and become amazing testimonies, love alone is often not enough. You must understand how to navigate your relationship with God's wisdom to truly thrive. Sure, this prince or princess charming may have checked all the boxes and everything seems to be going smoothly. You still feel butterflies when you see their text or missed call. But the question remains, is God involved? If God isn't involved, nothing truly amazing will come from this beautiful relationship. Until God is at the center, you can't be certain that this person won't walk away at any moment. Think about Joseph and Mary. If Joseph hadn't been prepared by God, he could have publicly humiliated Mary, potentially ruining the incredible testimony of their relationship. Perhaps God has sent me to you today to remind you to bring your relationship back to him. Running away from God, the author of marriage, is a recipe for failure. But coming closer to him will reveal his guidance for you. There's something truly special about the two of you, which is why God wants to be involved in your relationship. The first time you met was the first time you even spoke to each other. But perhaps in God's plan, you've long been connected without even realizing it. I encourage you to take time today and have a genuine conversation with God. seek to understand why He allowed the two of you to come together. Who knows what special purpose your relationship is meant to fulfill? I pray that you find the grace and courage to fully surrender your relationship to the Lord. May the two of you naturally walk in His will, and may your union be a foundation for great things to be established. Have you ever felt like love keeps slipping through your fingers, like no matter how hard you try, that special someone just hasn't appeared? Maybe you've watched friends and family find their partners, and you're left wondering when it will be your turn. It's easy to feel discouraged, especially after facing heartache or disappointment. But take heart. There's a message of hope just for you. Imagine for a moment that all the waiting, all the tears, and all the unanswered questions are leading up to something beautiful. These dreams you've held on to since you were young, the desire to find true love, to walk hand in hand with someone who understands and cherishes you, aren't just fairy tales. They are seeds planted in your heart for a reason. Life doesn't always unfold the way we expect. The picture-perfect romance stories we see in movies or read about in books often paint an unrealistic image of love. Real life is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes downright challenging. Relationships may have come and gone, leaving behind a trail of what-ifs and whys. It's tempting to lose hope and think that maybe love isn't in the cards for you. But here's the good news. The season of waiting is coming to an end. God sees your longing and understands your desire for companionship. He's been preparing someone just for you, someone who will not only meet your expectations but exceed them in ways you can't even imagine. This person is drawing near, and soon your paths will cross in a way that only divine orchestration can arrange. Think about a tree that has weathered many storms. Its branches may have been battered and its leaves may have fallen, but its roots grow deeper with each passing season. In the same way, your experiences have not been in vain. They've strengthened you, taught you valuable lessons, and prepared you for the love that's on its way. It's important not to let past disappointments cloud your future. Holding on to bitterness or fear can be like building walls that keep others out. Instead, open your heart and trust that God's timing is perfect. Just as the sun rises each morning without fail, so too will your season of joy arrive. The adversary might try to fill your mind with doubt, whispering that you're unworthy or that it's too late. But remember, those are lies meant to steal your joy. God's plans for you are filled with hope and promise. He delights in giving good gifts to His children, and a loving marriage is one of those precious gifts. Picture the excitement of meeting someone who pursues you wholeheartedly, someone who values you for who you are. This person is not just a figment of your imagination, but a reality that is approaching swiftly. Prepare yourself for this new chapter by nurturing your relationship with God, embracing self-love, and staying open to new possibilities. Surround yourself with positivity and people who uplift you. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. As you focus on living your best life, you'll find that things begin to fall into place naturally. The right person will notice the light within you and be drawn to it like a beacon. Your future marriage will not only bring joy to you, but will also be a testament to God's goodness and faithfulness. It will inspire others and perhaps even restore hope in those who have lost it. The union that awaits you is more than just a personal blessing. It's a part of a bigger picture that brings glory to God. As you anticipate this new season, continue to pray and seek God's guidance. Be attentive to His voice and the doors He opens. Sometimes opportunities come in unexpected ways, and being receptive can make all the difference. Don't be swayed by negative voices or the pressures of society. Everyone's journey is different, and comparing yourself to others can rob you of your peace. Instead, celebrate where you are now, knowing that each moment is a stepping stone to where you're meant to be. Think of your life as a tapestry being woven with threads of different colors and textures. Some threads represent joy, others represent trials, but together, they create a masterpiece. Your story, including the waiting and the wondering, is part of the beautiful design. The love that's coming your way will be worth every moment you've waited. It will be a love that reflects God's own love for you, patient, kind, and enduring. When you look back, you'll see how each experience prepared you for this blessing. In moments when doubt tries to creep in, remind yourself of God's promises. He's faithful to complete the good work He has started in you. The delays are not setbacks, but setups for something greater than you can imagine. Embrace this time as an opportunity to grow, to deepen your faith, and to prepare your heart for the amazing journey ahead. Engage in prayer, spend time in the Word, and surround yourself with a community that supports and encourages you. It's easy to let doubt creep in when you've been waiting for something as significant as a life partner. Thoughts begin to swirl. Why hasn't it happened for me yet? Or is there something wrong with me? But these are just shadows trying to dim the light that God has placed in your heart. Don't let those whispers steal your hope. Remember, a diamond doesn't lose its value just because it hasn't been found yet. Life might have thrown you a few curveballs. Perhaps you've experienced relationships that left you feeling less than whole. Or maybe you felt invisible to those around you. But none of that defines your worth or your destiny. God's plans for you are not hindered by past disappointments or missed opportunities. In fact, every experience has been shaping you, preparing you for the amazing future that's just around the corner. Think about a garden in the early spring. Beneath the surface, seeds are germinating, roots are spreading, and life is beginning to stir. You might not see it immediately, but growth is happening. Similarly, God has been working behind the scenes in your life, setting things in motion that you can't yet perceive. The right person is drawing closer each day, and soon, the pieces will come together in a way that only He could orchestrate. Now is the perfect time to focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This isn't about changing who you are, but about embracing your strengths and working on areas that need growth. Cultivate kindness, practice patience, and nurture your passions. When you invest in yourself, you not only enrich your own life, but also become a blessing to those around you. Imagine you're an artist and your life is a canvas. Every choice you make adds color and depth to the masterpiece. By choosing joy over despair, faith over doubt, and love over fear, you're creating something beautiful that others will be drawn to. The person who is meant for you will appreciate the unique and vibrant work of art that is your life. It's also important to surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who uplift you, engage in activities that bring you happiness, and fill your mind with encouraging thoughts. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your outlook, so make sure it's one that fosters hope and excitement for the future. Faith is like a lamp that lights your path in the darkness. Hold on to it tightly. Trust that God's timing is perfect, even when it's hard to understand. When doubts try to cloud your mind, speak words of affirmation. I am valued. I am loved. Good things are coming my way. Let these truths anchor you when the waves of uncertainty rise. Visualize the joy that's ahead. Picture the moments of laughter, the shared dreams, and the companionship that awaits you. Allow this vision to fuel your hope and remind you that the best is yet to come. Your story isn't over. In fact, the most exciting chapters are about to unfold. Lift your head and dry your eyes. The shadows that have lingered over you for so long are beginning to fade. Don't let worry consume your thoughts, and refuse to let the weight of expectations steal your joy. This isn't the time to let desperation take over and risk losing the person God has destined for you. Your past may be filled with challenges and heartaches, but a brighter and more glorious future awaits you. Believe that God has witnessed every tear you've shed and understands the deepest desires of your heart. Soon, you won't have to hide in shame or endure the whispers and skeptical looks from those who doubt you. Questions might flood in from every direction. Family members may intensify their expectations, and society might constantly remind you of your singleness. Friends could be getting married and starting families, leaving you feeling left behind. But remember, you're not navigating this journey alone. If it were entirely up to you, perhaps things would look different. But since it's not, why not place the situation into God's capable hands? Let Him be your guide, your matchmaker, the author of your love story. He will lead you to places of peace and joy, where your soul can truly rest and be fulfilled. If you find yourself overwhelmed, turn those tears into prayers. The God who listens is also the God who responds. He can transform your circumstances in an instant if you open your heart to Him. That feeling of hopelessness can blossom into a season of renewed hope and excitement. So stand tall and lift your gaze, because the one meant for you is drawing near. God won't rest until this person enters your life and takes that significant step forward. He'll oversee every detail, ensuring that everything aligns perfectly. The moment you've been anticipating is closer than you think. As people of faith, we don't rely solely on what we see with our own eyes, but on what we believe in our hearts. What are you perceiving right now? Is it despair, lingering pain from past relationships, fear of the unknown, or pressure from those around you? Cast those burdens aside and focus on what God is preparing to do in your life. Envision meeting the right person, experiencing a love that is mutual and deep, and moving forward together toward a shared future. In God's perfect timing, if you can believe it, you can receive it. It's never too late, regardless of your age or the disappointments you've faced. Even if you've encountered rejection or heartbreak, that won't hinder what God has planned for you. The past will fade into the background when He brings the right person into your life. And yes, it will happen sooner than you might imagine. It will astonish your friends and family and silence those who doubted you. What's more, you'll receive someone who brings joy, peace, and fulfillment to your life's journey. Your story will be unique, a beautiful testimony that others will share and be inspired by for years to come. So place your trust in God and keep your hope alive. He is the one who began this journey with you, and He will see it through to completion. When He brings someone into your life, He will guide you through every stage, from the first meeting to the moment you both commit to a lifetime together and beyond. Your sorrow will turn into joy and your nights will shine like the brightest day. Just as dawn breaks after the darkest night, so will your life be transformed. It might feel like a dream, but it's a reality you won't want to wake up from. Each day will bring new blessings and reasons to smile. Even those who seemed ahead of you will marvel at how wonderfully things have unfolded in your favor. Watch how everything aligns perfectly, as if orchestrated just for you. It's your time to rejoice. It's your season to flourish and bloom. You'll find fulfillment in love and step into the place meant just for you. Take heart. Many will soon gather to celebrate this joyous season with you. Remember, the journey isn't just about reaching the destination, but also about growing along the way. Every challenge you've faced has prepared you for this moment. Every tear, every doubt, every waiting season has been molding you into the person you are today, ready to embrace the blessings that are coming your way. Don't underestimate the power of patience and faith. They are your companions on this journey, strengthening you and keeping your eyes fixed on the promise ahead. So keep moving forward with confidence. Let go of the fears that hold you back. Release the doubts that cloud your mind. Embrace the peace that comes from knowing God is in control. He knows the desires of your heart better than anyone else, and He is faithful to fulfill them in His perfect timing. Look around and see the signs of change. Maybe you've noticed new opportunities arising and doors opening that were once closed. Perhaps you felt a stirring in your heart, a sense that something wonderful is on the horizon. Don't ignore these gentle nudges. They are reminders that God is at work. Prepare yourself for what's coming. Continue to grow, to learn, to become the best version of yourself. Not just for the person who is approaching, but for your own fulfillment and joy. When you invest in yourself, you're also investing in the future that awaits you. And when that special person arrives, you'll know. There will be a peace that surpasses understanding, a joy that fills your heart. Together, you'll embark on a journey that not only enriches your lives, but also brings glory to God. Your union will be a testament to His faithfulness and love. So lift your head high and smile. The season of waiting is giving way to a season of fulfillment. The clouds are parting, and the sun is beginning to shine on your path. Embrace it with open arms and a grateful heart. People around you will notice the change. They'll see the glow on your face, the sparkle in your eyes. They'll witness the unfolding of a beautiful story that only God could write, and they'll join you in celebrating this incredible blessing. This is more than just a chance encounter or a fleeting romance. It's the beginning of a lifelong partnership, a covenant blessed by God. It's the fulfillment of promises and the start of a new chapter filled with hope, love, and endless possibilities.
Relationships are challenging. They require daily effort and commitment. Marriage isn't just about the good times. It's about working through the hard times together. But sometimes, without us realizing, our marriages might be slowly fading away. Have you felt your partner drifting from you? Maybe you used to pray together, share meals, laugh at the same jokes. Now, perhaps they're always on their phone, or their conversations have become short and transactional. You sit in the same room, but feel miles apart. There are real situations many of us face. I've spoken with couples who noticed the little things slipping away, the goodnight kisses forgotten, the shared moments replaced by silence, the warmth turning into a chill. These aren't just small issues. They're the silent killers of relationships. Imagine a tiny crack in a wall. At first, it's barely noticeable, but over time, if ignored, it grows and weakens the entire structure. Our marriages are the same. Small acts of neglect can lead to a significant breakdown if we're not careful. It's easy to think everything is fine when there's no major conflict, but sometimes the absence of connection is more dangerous than open disagreements. We might assume our partner knows we love them, but love needs to be shown, not just assumed. So, what can we do? Pay attention to the signs. If your spouse seems distant, reach out. Start a conversation. Bring back the little gestures, holding hands, sharing your day, praying together. Don't let distractions steal away the moments that build your relationship. Remember, marriage is a gift from God, meant to bring joy, support, and growth. The enemy wants to create division, using subtle tactics to pull us apart. But we have the power to resist that by being intentional in our love. Don't wait until the gap is too wide to bridge. Take action now. Show appreciation. Listen actively. Make time for each other without distractions. Reignite the spark that first brought you together. Your marriage is worth fighting for. Let's not allow the unnoticed moments to turn into irreversible distance. Together, we can identify these hidden signs and strengthen our relationships against the silent killers that threaten them. Sign number 1. You're not yourself anymore. Remember when you first fell in love? You felt free to be exactly who God made you to be, sharing your dreams, fears, and quirks without hesitation. But lately, do you find yourself wearing a mask around your spouse? Perhaps you hide your feelings to avoid conflict or pretend to enjoy things that don't align with who you are. Consider this. God created each of us uniquely, with special gifts and personalities. Ephesians 2:10 tells us, "For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things He planned for us long ago." If you feel you've been losing your identity within your marriage, it's a silent alarm that something isn't right. A healthy marriage celebrates individuality while fostering unity. Sign 2. Communication has broken down. Communication is the lifeline of any relationship. It's more than just talking. It's about connecting on a deeper level. Have your conversations become superficial or strained? Do you avoid certain topics to keep the peace, or feel misunderstood no matter how hard you try to express yourself? Imagine a couple who used to share everything, their hopes, fears, and daily experiences. Now, they barely exchange more than a few words about mundane tasks. James 1:19 advises us, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." If meaningful communication has faded, it's a silent killer that can lead to misunderstandings and resentment. Sign number 3. You're questioning your connection. Do you find yourself wondering if you and your spouse are still on the same path? Maybe you're uncertain about your shared goals or feel disconnected from the dreams you once held together. This drifting apart can be subtle, but profoundly damaging. Amos 3:3 asks, "Can two walk together unless they are agreed?" Marriage is a journey meant to be taken side by side, with shared vision and purpose. If you're constantly questioning where you stand or where you're headed as a couple, that's a sign that the unity in your relationship is weakening. Sign number 4. Small annoyances have become major issues. The little quirks that once made you smile now irritate you. Perhaps their habit of leaving dishes in the sink or being late used to be endearing, but now it sparks frustration or even anger. When minor annoyances escalate into significant sources of conflict, it's a symptom of deeper issues. Proverbs 17:14 warns, "Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam, so drop the matter before a dispute breaks out." If patience and grace have been replaced with irritation and criticism, it's a silent killer eroding the love and respect in your marriage. Sign number 5. Spiritual disconnect. Faith is the cornerstone of a Christian marriage. Praying together, worshiping together, and seeking God's guidance as a team strengthens your bond. But if you find that you're no longer connected spiritually, maybe one of you has grown in faith while the other has drifted, this can create a significant rift. 2 Corinthians 6:14 advises, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers." While you may both be believers, a mismatch in spiritual commitment can lead to misunderstanding and isolation within the marriage. If you're not nurturing your spiritual connection, this silent killer can slowly pull you apart. Recognizing these signs can be unsettling. It might stir up emotions you'd rather keep buried. But acknowledging them is the first step toward healing. Ignoring these silent killers won't make them disappear. It only allows them to cause more damage. So, what can you do if you see these signs in your marriage? 1. Rekindle authenticity. Embrace who you are, and encourage your spouse to do the same. Open up about your feelings, hopes, and fears. Create a safe space where both of you can share without fear of judgment. Remember, honesty fosters intimacy. Psalm 139:14 reminds us, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." 2. Restore communication. Make a conscious effort to improve communication. Set aside time each day to talk without distractions. Listen actively and empathetically. Avoid blaming or shaming language. Colossians 4:6 encourages us, "Let your conversation always be full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." 3. Realign your connection. Revisit your shared goals and dreams. Spend quality time together doing activities you both enjoy. Rebuild the friendship that was once the foundation of your marriage. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor." 4. Practice patience and forgiveness. Let go of minor irritations. Choose to see the best in your spouse. Ephesians 4:2 urges us to be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love. Forgiveness is a powerful tool that can heal wounds and restore relationships. 5. Reignite your spiritual bond. Make your faith journey a shared journey. Attend church together, join a couple's Bible study, or set aside time for joint prayer and devotionals. Matthew 18:20 promises, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Inviting God into your marriage strengthens your bond in ways nothing else can do. Marriage isn't always easy. It requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to grow together. But with God's help, you can overcome these silent killers. Remember, love is not just a feeling. It's a choice you make every day. 1 Corinthians 13:7 tells us that love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. If you've recognized any of these signs in your marriage, take heart. This isn't the end. It's an opportunity for a new beginning. 6. Seek support. Sometimes, healing requires more than just the two of you. Don't hesitate to seek guidance from trusted friends, family, or spiritual leaders. Proverbs 15:22 advises, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed." There is strength in seeking wisdom from others who can provide a fresh perspective. 7. Cultivate gratitude. Focus on the positive aspects of your spouse and your relationship. Make a habit of expressing appreciation for the little things. Gratitude shifts your perspective and can reignite affection and respect. 1 Corinthians 5:18 encourages us to give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. 8. Invest quality time. Life can be hectic, but prioritizing time together is essential. Whether it's a weekly date night, a walk in the park, or simply sitting together without distractions, these moments strengthen your connection. Song of Solomon 2:10 says, "My beloved spoke to me and said, 'Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me.'" 9. Embrace humility. Pride can be a significant barrier to reconciliation. Be willing to admit your faults and ask for forgiveness. James 4:10 teaches, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up." Humility opens the door to healing and renewed intimacy. 10. Pray without ceasing. Prayer is a powerful tool in overcoming challenges. Pray for your spouse, your marriage, and for wisdom and strength. Philippians 4:6 advises, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God."
What if I told you that some partners will bring more chaos than love into your life? I know this may not sit well with everyone, especially when people are relentlessly chasing love. However, I want you to know that the reality is this: not all relationships are meant to be. Now, before you get your heart all tangled up, let me ask you this. Have you ever ignored the warning signs and ended up in a relationship that drained your energy, peace, and joy? If this sounds like something you've experienced, then you need to stay with me. In this video, I'll break down the 5 types of people you must never enter a relationship with, no matter how tempting they may seem. These red flags can save you from heartache and help you spot trouble before it's too late. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't about encouraging you to shut yourself off or become cold toward everyone who shows interest in you. Instead, this is loving advice to be mindful of these 5 specific types of individuals who will leave your heart so wounded that it becomes difficult to receive the kind of genuine love you truly deserve. Protecting your heart from the wrong people will prepare you to fully embrace the right one when they come along. Let's dive in before you make a choice that could change everything, my friend. The first kind of people you must never date are those who are spiritually lukewarm. In your quest for love and a truly fulfilling relationship, you must never fall for those who are spiritually lukewarm or indifferent. Trust me that this is a dangerous trap. Your faith is central to your life and decisions, including romantic relationships. Your faith is the very foundation of who you are. A relationship without spiritual alignment can leave you empty. no matter how perfect it seems on the surface. While some may brush off this red flag as insignificant, it carries a lot more weight than you might think. Ignoring it can spell disaster for your relationship in the long run. If the person you're dating isn't spiritually aligned with you, it can lead to deep conflicts, especially when it comes to core areas like values, beliefs, and purpose. What seems minor now can eventually become the very thing that tears you apart. Beloved, dating someone who lacks a solid relationship with God can lead to challenges in both small and significant areas of life. This is why the Bible warns about us not being unequally yoked, because this can disrupt the spiritual harmony we desire. Dating a spiritually indifferent person is a real danger. Without a shared faith, tension can develop in your home from differences in core beliefs, such as integrity, trust, obedience to God, and how to raise children, handle money, or resolve conflict. Let me make this a bit clearer. Someone who is lukewarm to spiritual growth may not understand the importance of prayer, worship, or seeking God's will in major decisions. In a relationship, you want a partner who can stand with you in faith, challenge you to grow spiritually, and pursue God's purpose together. However, if you get involved with a spiritually lukewarm partner, they will dilute your faith and reduce your relationship with God to something very insignificant. They will eventually break your heart because, from the start, they are not part of God's perfect will for your life. Have you ever thought about Samson from the Bible? Samson's relationship with Delilah reveals spiritual indifference and disobedience. Samson's repeated compromises of his spiritual commitments for Delilah's sake jeopardized his faith and ultimately led to his untimely downfall. Consider King Solomon, with his many foreign wives who worshipped other gods. Although Solomon started his reign with strong faith and dedication to God, his relationships led him to embrace idolatry, which displeased God. Solomon's spiritual compromise clearly illustrates how marrying someone with differing religious practices can lead to a weakening of one's faith. Beloved, no matter how tempting a spiritually lax partner may seem, please be aware that it is a red flag. This is another warning from God to stay away from them for the sake of your relationship with Him. Aside from those who are spiritually indifferent, another dangerous category of person you shouldn't get involved with is the self-centered. At first, a self-centered partner might seem charming, confident, or ambitious, but over time, their focus on themselves will make the relationship feel one-sided. Their focus on themselves alone can wear you out. They may not be bad in themselves, but this attitude can disgust even the meekest person on earth. Every relationship requires some level of sacrifice and mutual care, but a self-centered person makes everything about themselves. They prioritize their needs, wants, and desires, and comfort above yours. Over time, you'll feel drained, unsupported, and even invisible in your relationship. They will make the relationship revolve just around them, ignoring you as a major part of your union. They may even demand attention, validation, and support without offering the same in return. Every healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and sacrifice, where both people work to serve each other as Christ served the church. Philippians 2:3-5 reminds us, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus." Beloved, a relationship that is built around one person's needs will quickly become exhausting. If they constantly prioritize themselves over you and show little empathy, you're setting yourself up for an unbalanced relationship. True love is about sacrifice, compromise, and mutual respect. If they're only focused on themselves, they won't be capable of giving you the kind of love that mirrors Christ's selflessness. The third category of people you must never enter a relationship with is those who are emotionally unavailable. An emotionally unavailable person may give you glimpses of affection but never truly let you into their heart. They do this by intentionally avoiding deep conversations and pushing you away when things get serious. A clear sign of this type of person is that they consistently dismiss or shut you down when you try to discuss the future of your relationship. This avoidance speaks volumes about their intentions. As time progresses, this can leave you feeling like you're pouring into a relationship that isn't going anywhere, because emotional intimacy is critical for a healthy relationship. Whether due to past trauma or fear of commitment, dating someone who can't be vulnerable and open can leave you feeling unfulfilled and isolated. If someone can't engage with you on a deeper level, it will limit your ability to grow together. Being with someone who is emotionally unavailable can damage your ability to trust and love. In addition to avoiding emotionally unavailable individuals, another crucial group to steer clear of is those struggling with addiction. Beloved, it's a red flag if someone is actively battling any form of addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, pornography, gambling, or any other vice. Addiction has the power to control their life, and until they've sought healing and deliverance, they won't be able to fully give themselves to you or the relationship. Oftentimes, addiction harms the addict and deeply affects those who care about them. It can disrupt trust, stability, and emotional safety in relationships. While it's possible to support someone through recovery, dating someone who is still entrenched in their addiction can trap you in a cycle of pain. For true healing to occur, they must first seek freedom through God's power and the necessary support systems. Supporting someone through recovery is one thing, but entering a relationship with an active addict will only lead to heartbreak, pain, and instability. Now, the last category of people you must never get yourself involved with is those who are abusive or controlling. At first, abusive partners don't seem dangerous, but subtle signs of control, manipulation, or emotional abuse will eventually surface. Any partner who belittles you, isolates you from loved ones, or uses guilt and fear to manipulate you is dangerous. Anyone who constantly criticizes, belittles, or undermines you will slowly chip away at your confidence and self-worth. God's kind of love builds you up. It doesn't tear you down. We are called to encourage and strengthen one another. Now, abuse isn't always physical. It can be emotional, mental, or even spiritual. A partner who constantly criticizes, blames, or undermines your self-worth is not acting out of love. God calls you to live in freedom and peace, not under the shadow of someone else's dominance. Dear friend, you deserve to be in a relationship where you are respected and cherished. Never allow someone to compromise your peace, security, or self-worth. When you recognize these behaviors, it's crucial to protect your emotional and spiritual well-being. Have you ever woken up and thought, how did we end up like this? Or how did I find myself in this kind of a relationship? If you've ever had moments where you question how things got so complicated, or why your relationship isn't what you had hoped for, you're not alone. These thoughts can be a real wake-up call, signaling that it's time to take a closer look at what's going on and how you can turn things around. One day everything seems to be going on smoothly, but another day everything feels off, like you're just two people sharing a house. The conversations that once flowed between you two now feel forced or non-existent. Gradually, you begin to notice the subtle distance between you and your spouse, like you're no longer truly connected. Even though you're still sharing the same space, it feels like your hearts are worlds apart. The warmth, peace, joy, and love that once filled your days have slowly been replaced by a cold, monotonous routine, leaving you feeling more like roommates than soulmates. Sometimes we're tempted to just brush this off. We tell ourselves that it's just a phase, but deep down, we know that something isn't right. Beloved, what if I told you this isn't just about you and your partner? Right now, all around the world, countless people are trapped in this same struggle. It's silent and unseen, but man, is it real. Marriages are slowly drifting apart. Hearts are gradually breaking. I just want you to know that you're not alone in this. And today, we're going to uncover the truth behind these silent battles and how to break free. One day I found myself sitting alone on a quiet beach, reflecting on the struggles of my 6-month relationship with someone I had once thought was the epitome of a beautiful heart. As I was lost in my thoughts, I suddenly noticed the soft footsteps of a man approaching. To my surprise, he called my name. I was stunned. How could he possibly know who I was? He had the most tender voice I had ever heard, and as he spoke, I felt a profound sense of healing wash over me. His words were soothing, almost like a gentle balm to my troubled heart. During the conversation, he shared something that I've never forgotten. He said, "No bad marriage happens overnight." In that moment, I was struck by a profound truth. I had been so focused on blaming my partner, seeing only the faults and flaws, cheating, lying, and how opportunistic my partner was. Yet, here was this kind, mysterious person reminding me that the problems we faced didn't just suddenly appear. They were the result of small, unnoticed issues building up over time. That conversation, though it turned out to be a dream, marked a turning point in my life and in my relationship. It was a revelation that guided me toward a deeper understanding of love, peace, and joy. And in the end, it was a dream that became a cherished moment in my 30 years of marriage, and it made all the difference for me. Today, the question many people are asking is, how did our marriage end up like this? But marriages don't fall apart overnight. It's the little things, the small cracks we ignore until one day, it all feels broken. In this video, we're talking about those silent relationship killers, the hidden signs that your marriage might be breaking without you even noticing. Let me share a very important scripture that beautifully captures this thought. Song of Songs 2:15 says, "Catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards, our vineyards that are in bloom." Let me ask this profound question. Can anything truly be called small if it has the power to wreak such damage in our relationship with God and each other? You must learn to tame the little foxes that ruin the vineyards. Let me share some silent relationship killers that ruin God's beautiful plan for your marriage. The number one silent killer of a relationship is unforgiveness. Many people are unaware that unforgiveness is a hidden sign of a failing marriage. Beloved, the moment you sense unforgiveness creeping into your relationship, drop whatever you are doing and address this immediately. If you don't, you might as well say goodbye to the relationship. Nothing corrupts a relationship like the silent poison of unforgiveness. It's one of Satan's most potent tools to ensure that people don't get the best out of their relationship, despite their efforts to make it work. When unforgiveness takes root in your heart, no matter how hard your partner tries to be perfect for you, you will never fully appreciate it, because your vision is clouded by resentment. If you desire a great relationship that leads to a glorious future, you must not allow unforgiveness to take hold. The Bible instructs us to be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as God forgives us in Christ. Holding on to grudges and failing to forgive can create a barrier between you and your partner, eventually leading to long-term bitterness and estrangement. Another subtle but powerful relationship killer is neglecting communication. Just like unforgiveness, a breakdown in communication can silently erode your relationship. When communication starts to falter, misunderstandings and resentments begin to accumulate, gradually poisoning the relationship without you even realizing it. It's crucial to understand that this deterioration doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow process that builds up over time. Don't underestimate the impact of communication issues. If you notice any signs of a communication breakdown in your relationship, take it seriously. Delaying action or allowing issues to fester can ruin everything you've worked so hard to build. Instead, address problems head on. Speak up when necessary and do so with a constructive attitude. Avoid sulking or letting grievances simmer in silence. By addressing issues promptly and with the right mindset, you can prevent minor problems from becoming major threats to your relationship's health. Proverbs 15:1 says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." As you go about your daily routine, make sure that nurturing communication in your relationship remains at the top of your priority list. Trust me on this. When you're with the right person, you'll find that no matter how much you talk, it never feels like enough. The conversations will flow effortlessly, sparking joy and deepening your connection in ways you never imagined. So don't let those precious moments of interaction slip away. Cherish and prioritize them, and watch your relationship thrive and spark a new wave of joy and happiness. Now, another silent relationship killer is ingratitude. Nothing disrupts the smooth flow of a loving relationship quite like ingratitude. Many people don't realize how much gratitude can enhance and enrich their relationship. Many partners have become victims of abuse because their spouses don't often pay attention to their commitment and hard work. The reality is that everyone contributes something to make the relationship work. When gratitude and appreciation are absent, partners can feel undervalued. Over time, this can erode the mutual respect and affection essential for a healthy and thriving relationship. Nothing is too small to say thank you for. Always appreciate the effort your partner puts in to ensure your relationship works. Sometimes we don't realize how much our partner is doing until they stop or leave the relationship. Then it hits us that they were contributing a lot to keep things running smoothly all along. Beloved, don't let ingratitude take root in your heart. It can damage your relationship in ways you might not fully understand. Ingratitude is a barrier to progress and can undermine your relationship's growth. Often it takes a deliberate and conscious effort to show appreciation for others' efforts. The things that often cause a beautiful relationship to falter aren't the big issues, but the small ones we overlook. These seemingly minor matters can be the real problems. Dear friend, don't overlook these seemingly small issues. These are the ones that can quietly damage your relationship if left unattended. Take action today. Don't wait until you get to a breaking point. Be intentional in expressing gratitude and watch how God uses it to breathe new life into your relationship. When you show gratitude, you're not just being polite. You're fighting for your marriage, for your relationship, and for the future that God has planned for you. Remember, God desires that you contend fiercely for your marriage and for your walk with Christ. We're not ignorant of the enemy's schemes, and gratitude is one of the oldest tricks. Protect your relationship, guard your heart, and cultivate a spirit of thankfulness. As you do, the Lord will fortify your marriage with a bond that can withstand any storm. God bless you as you strive to honor Him in your relationship. He's given you the tools. Now go and build something beautiful.